Today's lesson is to design steel connections in Revit. Just to give you some context, 2018 there was a capability to create steel connection in Revit, but it wasn't a dedicated tab. I think it was an extension. I could be wrong. I don't remember. But for 2019, happily or thankfully, they added the steel connection tab, which is what you can see here. Now, today's lesson, we're going to work within this model, and in plan, you can see that it's a 6.5 meter by 6.5 meter grid, and it's a steel column and beam connection with a basement pedestal. And this here is a grout that attaches, supposed to be between the pedestal and the column base plate. So we're gonna model the base plate. We're also going to model the moment connection between the column and the beam. If we have time, or probably for another tutorial, I'll show you how to annotate and document these connections. Now, the 2019 Revit, it is very easy now to create these connections. And I also created these two sections here that will be part of our documentation process. And you will see that in plan here. I will put in the link below the links to download this file. This is steel connection tutorial start, and I also, when completed, it will be steel connection tutorial end. All right, and that way you could follow along and work at your own pace, slow down the video, whatever the case may be. All right, so that being said, let's begin. Oh, before I start, if you like this video, hit the thumb button and subscribe to my channel as well. I truly appreciate it. And for those who have already subscribed, I appreciate you visiting my channel as well. Okay, let's begin. Alright, so the first connection we want to do is the plate connection, which is below this column here. This is a 12 by 96. We are in a generic metric template. This is a 12 by 96 column, although this is imperial. And to get to the steel connection, you go to the steel tab and you see structure connection. You can click on that. But by default, there's only a generic connection family type here. That wouldn't help our situation. So, modify, come out of that. This down arrow goes into the connection setting. You click on that, and you should see the available connections that you can add to the project. Now, if you click on that and you do not see this, all you have to do is go to Insert, Load Family, go to, you could either use the metric, which is US metric, go to Steel Connections, Steel, and insert all these or whatever you think is necessary. For me, it will be a base plate 4-hole. That will be necessary. I may also look at some double angle connections, gusset plates, as if you need it for your project. And the mounting parts, you could send in some anchor bolts. You could load plates, anything that you need. Once that is done and you come to steel and go into the settings, you should be able to see the available connections. For the purpose of this tutorial, all we need is a base plate, and we also need a moment connection, which is a moment end plate. We can add that. Alright, so now you select connection, select base plate, and you see the cursor has changed. Select the column, just press once, press the space bar. Just give it a bit, and that's it. Now you see the menu has changed a bit, but what has happened here, we are not seeing any type of connection. That's okay. In Revit, your view needs to be in fine, so now you can see it. That being said, I will have to modify this because this plate, if I look at this from the front view, extends past this on top of here. I want this plate to rest squarely on the edge or aligned to the edge of the top here. So we have some changes to make. The bolts may not be the size bolt I want. Also, the location of the bolts definitely would not be where I want it. So I will go to the ground floor and make the adjustments there. Now, you can't see it here, and that's because of two things. In the view range, you would like to see below the ground level. So we change the bottom and the view depth to unlimited, apply. And also in the visibility graphics, when you go down to structural connection, by default it is not checked. So you see from anchors to weld, it's unchecked. You check that, press apply, okay, now you can see it. Let's change this to thin lines. Now, again, I want my base plate to be on the border of the column and not on the pedestal. So you go to modify parameters. Let's give that a few seconds. So you see here the plate thickness is 25, that's fine. The layout. Now projection mean from the middle of the bolt to the edge of the plate, what is the projection? I don't really know, but I know the dimensions of the plate that I want. And let me just X out of that. I know that I want the plate to be from this edge to that edge. So I have an idea of the layout, the size of the base plate. I know it's going to be 310 by 325, right? So select back, reselect the plate, modify parameters. In the base plate layout, 25, but in the layout, I don't want projections, I want total. And all the other settings is fine. Base plate dimensions, as I said before, for 5, which is this side here, I need that to be 325. When I select number 6, you see, as you can tell, it has already made the adjustment. Yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit of a lip, but that's fine. I can live with that. And with the plate width, I need that to be 310. Great. So that's on the edge. The plate corners, I won't interfere with that because I'm not notching the corners. The anchor bolts, I want this to be a 78-inch bolt. You see the size changed immediately. And I want J anchors. We won't be able to see it in plan, but we'll see it. We will see it in another view. The anchor assembly is fine. The anchor length is fine. The washer plate, we don't want a washer plate. Anchors parallel to web. This is the web. Anchors parallel to web. So these two boats that are parallel to web, we want two. We want the distance to be 150 parallel to web. You read this direction. Yes, that's correct. And anchors parallel to flange. This is the flange. This is the web. Try to remember my terminology. Anyway, this is the flange. This is the web. So I had it backwards. The intermediate distance is 150 as well. So now we have our boats properly aligned. Welds, by default it's at 6 mm. We will keep that. Stiffen on plate, we don't want anything, and we don't need to do anything with the holes. And that's it. Let's look at this in 3D. Now there's a space between, if you look at this in section. Right, in this view, we have to change this to fine. So I need this to be transparent. So we just change that property a bit. So let's change that to be 60. And this as well, change to 60. Right. I prefer to look at it in section, this section here as well. So change this to fine and change transparency for these two items. So select both 60. So you see the J bolt? The distance here is 20. So select the column and reduce this by 20, which is 220. There you have it. In 3D, just to be safe, let's select all the columns and reduce it to 220. Right. So in section, this works out properly, perfectly. Now, let's create the moment connection, which is the beam to column connection. So we go back to connection. Instead of base plate, now you select moment and plate. Select the column, hold on control, you see the plus sign. Select the beam, press space bar. This is the plate that we want, but this is not the dimensions we want. So let's go in a view that will show us what we need. So this plate is going to extend past the beam on both top and bottom. It's going to have some bolts in the middle, and it will have two bolts at the top and two bolts at the bottom. So let's go to modify parameters. Let's shift this to the side. Right, so the plate thickness is fine, it's 13. Again, I want my plate height layout to be total. I want the total start distance to be from the beam top. I want my layout distance to be 75. And my plate height, which is the total height of the plate, 508. Let's just come out of this for a second. The distance from the top of the beam is 348. if I bring up my calculator, um, 508 minus 348 divided by 2, that's 80. So the distance from the edge here, 75, 75, and I think I took the wrong, oh, okay, I see, 348. So it's 508 minus 348. Saying it's 160. I guess it's a rounding off issue, but typically this is be 75 on top and 75 below. Anyway, let's continue. Let's modify the parameters. Bolts and holes, we want 1 inch bolts. We want the assembly to be NA2W. Everything else remains. The horizontal bolts, I want the plate layout to be total, which is, now we want this distance here, and we want that to be 128. The total, sorry, 204. Right? We want the center distance to be 128. And everything else is fine. The vertical, it will be from beam top. In group 1, 2, number, it's going to be, just checking my notes, 76. And group 2, I will want 3 because I need 1, 2, and then I need 1, 2, 3. So we need 1 row and then I need 3 rows. And the distance between each of them will be 90. Oh, not 92. Actually, this will be 0. Let's go back. 1, 3. Okay. I think I made an error in one of the options. In the vertical bolts, should be from center. Right, that makes sense. So it's going to be 176, 372 is going to be 13, and 75. Right. So the distance between intermediate distance will be 75, 75, and in group 2, which is 3, these will also be 75. So the distance between the bolts will all be 75. Reinforcement, don't study that. Shim plates, don't study that. Stiffeners. Now, before we do stiffeners, let's come out of this. Let's watch this on another view. And for the purpose of this, I'm just going to make this transparent. So, select plate, modify parameters. Now I want these stiffeners to have a top stiffener. So I'm creating a top stiffener. So the stiffener length 1, which would be the length from here to here, will be 75. And the stiffener height will also be 75. That's good. The corner finish inside, that'll be 0. So, because I really try to create a triangle. Corner finish is symmetric. And this will be 75. So that's it. So this is the weld thickness and everything will just remain the same. And the bottom, just copy exactly what we did. The length is 75, the height is 75, the corner finish is 0, it's symmetric corner finish, and that will be 75. This is not 75 here, it's a little longer. Let's play around with this. 80. 80. 90. 90. Oops. So 85. Okay. 85. Right. And everything else you can remain the same. So let's look at this in 3D. So you see the welds, the bolts in position. Oh, we did not put top and bottom bolts, so let's fix that as well. So in plates and bolts, horizontal bolts, vertical bolts, outside bolts, top and battery bolt. This distance will be 38. Okay, there you have it. So that's your moment connection, and this is an end plate connection. Now, imagine that you have a more complex project that has many connections that are similar. So instead of having to go through each one to create one, what we try to do is, so we select this base plate, we go to customize, and you name it anything that you want. Typical, this is a 12 by 96 base plate connection. Give it a descriptive name. It will prompt you to add more components to more parts to add to this. I don't want to, so I just say finish. The same can be said for this. Let's create one, so we'll call it typical 12 by 96 to 14 by 43 moment connection. You could call it anything, but this helps me remember, so I don't put this connection on a bigger column or a smaller beam or anything like that. It's specific to 12 by 96 to 40 by 43 moment connections. Say finish, because I don't have anything to add to it. So now, I want to create a connection for this column, the end plate. I go to connection. And when I go to the family selector, I have my 12 by 96 base connection. Select that, press spacebar, and it creates it automatically. Remember, previously we adjusted the heights of these columns. So create similar, select this one. Create similar, select this one. Right, so in terms of the moment connections now, let's do that again. Select this one. Create similar. Select the column, select the beam, press spacebar. So you see the holes end up. These are different type of connections, so we can't use that here. So let's delete that. We could only use this connection. Oh, I see what's happening here. This connection too far. Ensure that my setback cut back all the beams. These are fine. Right, so let's try that again. Steel connection, moment connection. There's a warning. Right. This connection failed here. Let's delete that. Okay. Let's try that again. Why is this? Alright. Let's create this connection again. Select the column, beam, spacebar. Do that again. Column, beam, spacebar. Column. Let's repeat. Okay, let's see if this will work out now. Column, beam. Oh, there's a clash issue here. So let's see how we could work that out. Okay, so the issue is that this connection is a bit different to this connection. So this connection will have to use short bolts. When we try to put this connection on this, it sends a bolt straight through the flange. So this one I would just rename it if I can, but apparently I cannot. So I'm going to create a new connection type between the beam and the flange. I feel I'm getting my terms wrong, but this face here, that's what I'm trying to get. So connection, go to moment and plate, select column, select beam. Right. Let's go to, I should have used, let's delete that. Let's go to this is column A1. This is column A1. So let's do the connection here. Again, let's repeat. We want to moment and plate. Select the column first, then the beam, press spacebar. Right. You see how the bolt is going straight through? We will have to make adjustments to that. So, which direction do I want to look? This direction. Right. So, I don't want this to be transparent anymore, so I'll override that. Just reset. Okay. It's looking on the other side, but I need to flip this. Try. Yeah. Oh, there you are. Let's flip this. Good. Alright, so we're going to modify this. So modify parameters. Plate layout, total, layout distance, 75, plate height is 508. Bolts and holes, that's not right. Beam top, okay. Bolts and holes, 1 inch. Okay, in this system it doesn't seem to work out because when I try to create the end plate, it sends a bolt straight through the flange, and that's not what we want. So in cases like these, what we do tend to do, we try to create our own custom connection. So that's what these fabrication elements section is here, modifiers, parametric cuts, those kind of things. So we already know what's the thickness of the plate, so we want to create a plate. We want to set it, pick a plane, set it to there, and let's look at section 2. What is this here? Let's cancel out of that. Yes. What is this? Let's delete that. Right. I was on the wrong column just now. It's A1. Right, okay. And right, the section is looking at that, so we're looking on this side. So we want to connect here, right? So again, select plate, set your work plane to this face, go to section 2, let's create. So we know that the distance from here to here is 75. Distance from here to is 75. This is a line, this edge, just to make sure that it's 204. So to the center is supposed to be 102, and this is going to be 204. Great. This, just to double check, supposed to be 25.4. .508. Connect 3D. That's fine. The thickness is supposed to be 13, doesn't matter. 12.7, 13. Get either way, let's change it to 13. Not much of a difference. Let's good. That way the beam is buttoned right to the plate. Great. So now we're going to create some holes. So we go to steel, bolts, set, pick a plane, okay. So we select the face of this plate. Let's do that again. Select bolts, select element to connect. Okay, so it's this and this. Press spacebar, and then they're asking for the face. Pick a plane. What am I doing wrong? So that's again, connect, go to bolts, the accent, click to select element to connect. So it's the column, control, and the beam. Press space bar, select a planar face to a connected element. Oh, okay. Go to section 2. We know it's going to be within this region here. So now we're going to make some changes. So the bolt is 8/325. The size is 1 inch. Assembly NA2W. Number on one side, 2, number on. Alright, so 2 by, oops, looking for these settings here. You know what? Close off this. Let's do this again. Bolts, control, column, beam and column. Here we have to pick what areas we want our bolt to be connected. So I need to be 38 offset. Same thing for here. For the bottom. And also for the top. There you have it. Let's look at this in 3D. Great. Why is this? Okay. This is incorrect. So X out of that. We're going to do it one more time. Sorry guys, this part I don't usually do, so I'm now figuring it out. So select this, this, this. And then they ask you to select the face, so it will be on this face. Go to section. Escape. To the 8. To the 8. It's oops, 38. Let's see how that looks. Ah, that's much better. Alright, so go back to the section. Now let's make some changes. This was the A325. This was your 1-inch bolt. The assembly is NAT2W. 2 washers. Coating. No coating. Number on one side. Add 3. Great. And that's it. That's basically it. Yep, that's basically it. So, back in 3D. Now, if I want to create my custom connection, let's see, that's basically that, and I'm going to end here. So let's see this in one view, let's see in the other view. Okay. So basically that's it for this lesson. Next lesson, I'll probably show you how to create the documentation, dimensions, all that good stuff. Thank you. Hit the like button, press subscribe. See you next time.